Hey guys, this is Nikolai Poznikov, and today I want to show you my new app. It's called PST to DAT, and this is a quick tool that lets you convert a PST file into a DAT file that you can load into concordance and analyze. So I'm going to start the program and I'll maximize it so it fits the screen. So first thing I'm going to do is select my file, and I'm going to choose this PST. It's one of the Enron PST files. It's 1.7 gigabytes. So I'm going to open it and I'm going to kick off the conversion right away, and while that's going on I'll talk to you about some of the features. So on top you see a space where you can select multiple PST files, so you can add not just one but many, and they will all be processed in a batch manner. Here below you can choose doc ID, and you can specify prefix, starting number, and how many digits to zero fill it to. Just below that there is an option which lets you create a native file. If you're interested in having a native file that you can click on in concordance, you can choose that option, but it warns you that this will slow down the process significantly. And the last option on the bottom is the output for the DAT file that it creates, and here we're just going to use our desktop. And on the right side is our processing log. So this is where the tool tells you everything that it's doing. So if there are any kind of errors, warnings, and so on, they'll be listed right here in the middle of the screen or to the right. And while I was talking, our 1.7 gig PST file was already processed. So we can tell that our PST name here, time that it started, and the time that it, which folders it processed, and the time that it finished. So you see it took about a minute to do 1.7 gig file. And once the conversion is done, it'll tell you how many total records were generated in that file. And this is a very important number because you want to make a note of it, and when you load data into your review tool, whether it's concordance, relativity, and so on, you want to make sure that's the number you see. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into concordance, and here I have an empty concordance database with the fields that my PST to DAT generates, and I'm going to go ahead and import the DAT file that I just created. So I'm going to go next, use all the standard delimiters, going to choose my date format. I'm going to skip the first line. I'll choose my out.dat because that was the path I specified, and I'll click on open and finish. So this will load our DAT file into concordance, and we'll be able to see the metadata and all the fields that tool extract. Let's go to the first record, and we'll see that it's an email message. We assign a doc ID of 1, which is what was specified during the conversion. And first we're seeing our basic PST information. So data is coming from this PST file, our full path, just the PST name, internal path to the PST, and then we have our basic email metadata from to CC. We have date and time separate as well as together, email subject, and an entry ID. Entry ID is one of the very important fields that if you ever need to refer back to the original source of this email, you can always use entry ID in a combination with the PST path to uniquely identify any email message. And further down we have size and attachments we have, and the actual body of the email. So by looking at this, we can actually go through our email collection and see what we have. And in this case we have emails, and we have attachments. Attachments will have a different fields populated than emails. They will have attachment name and date created and modified. There are also a couple of other fields I specified here, such as attachment type and attachment number. Those are more for testing for right now, and we'll see if they will be useful or not, and I'll decide whether I should keep them in the final version or not. So let's take a look at this in a table view format, which will help us visualize one other field, which is a group identifier. And the group ID is almost like your bag attach field. It helps you group your emails and attachments together. You can use this field to run find family CPL, or you can use it to group by data in relativity, which already has a field called group identifier. And if we scroll down to the right, you will see the same thing, that we have metadata populated for emails in some fields and other metadata populated for attachments in other fields, as you see here. Alright, so this is a very quick tool. As you saw, we did 1.7 gig PST file in about a minute. It'll process any standard PST, and will give you a quick way of looking at the data that you have. Give it a try. Go to edd-tools.com and download a copy for yourself. Thank you for watching.